Hello everyone, this is Mary Ann. I'm back with another video. In this video, I would like to show you how thick my daily pages are in my planner. I use the Franklin Covey compact sized binder. This is the one that I've had. I've been on this since September 9 of 2014. So I've been on this binder for more than a year already. And I use 2 pages per day, and the Franklin Covey compact size is comparable to the Filofax personal sized, meaning the pages have a width of 95 millimeters and a height of 171 millimeters, and that's a page size that I use. And I make my own planner pages. And the ring size of this is 1.5 inches in diameter. But if you turn it on the side, you can see that very thick section right there, those are my daily pages. Because I use 2 pages per day, and in this binder right now, the daily pages for February and March are already on there, as well as the rest of January, and we are already on the 18th of January, so this is how thick it is. It's massive, really. Just look at how thick it is. And if we measure the thickness of this, let's see. If we measure the thickness, it comes down to more or less 20 millimeters or 2 centimeters. That's 20 millimeters, and it's really just very big. And that accounts for, I think, almost half of the contents of this planner, because if we measure the whole thing, let's see, I hope I'm doing this correctly. It's 50 millimeters in thickness. Yeah, the daily pages account for almost half of the contents of the rings of my planner, because the daily pages alone are 20 millimeters thick and the whole content on the rings is 50 millimeters thick. It's massive. But I had to put both February and March on here because there is the beginning of the semester, and we have to plan out our research schedules, because by the end of March we're going to start reporting. So before we can get to that point, we have to have already dealt with research, and they have to be plotted out. And in my case, I have to plot them out together or alongside my work schedule, which is right here, which has already been ingested, but I have deadlines for work also, and I have to take that into account. Aside from that, I also have to take into account all the other things that I do, like I'm working on a book for someone. Yeah, so that's the reason why I have put February and March pages in here. Sorry for the glare. And there. Now I work with daily pages, so 1 month worth of 2 pages per day usually comes down to about 70 pages, because 30 days times 2 pages per day, that's 60. But I break down the pages per week. Like for instance, this one. This is Monday through Sunday. So I can archive every week, take these out, put them in the archives, and then this is another week. So that adds a certain number of pages to the 60. So on the average, I use up about 70 pages in the layout for every month. So it means there must be 140 pages right here for February and March. Here, this should be 140 pages, and this would be well, the half of January, so that must be like 35. So 140 plus 35, that's a total of 175 pages. And 2 pages equals 1 sheet of paper. 1 sheet, 2 pages. First page, second page. So if this is 175 pages, it means there are about 88 sheets of paper here. This must be about 80 sheets of paper. And if you add the tip-ins for every week, 2 tip-ins, one for the weekly summary and one for the weekly task list for every week, that adds a number of pages too. Now, it adds bulk only on the part of the pages from here to the edge, and there's nothing on the rings because that's where the tip-in ends. So more or less, there are 88 sheets of paper on the rings. And if we measure that, it's more or less 20 millimeters, because the tip-ins don't really add much bulk. So that's 88 sheets of paper, right? Those are massive. And this is the most that I have. This is the most number of daily pages that I have included in my planner at any given time. And there will be another point in the future in which I have to place 2 months of daily pages in my planner again, which is April and May, because May is the end of the semester and there are deadlines on there, and April is the month for reporting, and that has to be scheduled also. So I was thinking, I cannot really keep dealing with these massive pages. And besides, I'm not really too crazy about the quality of the paper. The color is good, it's smooth, and it's sturdy, it doesn't tear. And I can paste things on here if I need to. I mean, I just cut up scraps of the same paper to paste over my mistakes. It's not a problem. And they're easy to print on and they're easy to cut, but they bleed through very, very badly. Just to give you an idea of how badly they bleed through with the Staedtler Triplus fine liners, which I use for my Hyperdex, which is here. And of course, they also bleed through with fountain pens. So I have decided to look into the Tomoe River Paper. Now, the Tomoe River Paper is really a very thin, very high quality paper that is made for fountain pens and other wet mediums. Like, I saw someone on YouTube throw a watercolor on this and it didn't even tear at all. And it didn't bleed through. It just crinkled a little, which was a little bit pretty. But it didn't tear, it didn't bleed through. There was a little show through, but I kind of like that because that is a quality of the paper when you write with fountain pens on them. Sometimes it shows through, but fountain pen friendly paper does not feather, does not bleed through, and it shows shading, meaning the kind of, you know, like this one. Let me show you just very quickly. If you can notice, a fountain pen doesn't write with very even color. On upstrokes, the ink becomes lighter. On certain downstrokes and on short strokes, like this one is a short stroke and it's a downstroke too, the ink becomes darker. That's a fountain pen quality that comes up on fountain friendly paper, on true fountain pen friendly paper. Some paper don't bleed through with fountain pens, but they don't show this quality. I don't call them fountain pen friendly paper. Look at this one, for instance. This is Sailor Apricot in a Lamy medium on Tomoe River paper, which is the gridded, by the way. This is the gridded 5mm graph, which is DR269 on Ray Made Da Vinci. Look at the shading, and I really like that. I really like that because you can only get that kind of writing with fountain pens. That's why I like Tomoe River Paper. And you know, I have tested the Staedtler Tripless Fine Liners on here too, which is alcohol based. And they don't bleed through at all. Even if the paper is very thin. I mean, you can actually see a little bit through it, but there is no bleed through. So I can print the Hyperdex straight onto the paper and not anymore have to deal with something like this. I usually print the Hyperdex over here in a very reduced opacity just so I can get a guide on where I can paste the circles on so that everything will be centered on here. This is just a guide really, but not to write on. That's why the opacity is very low. But with the Tomoe River paper, I can print the full 100% Hyperdex straight on the paper because I can shade them in with my Staedtler Tripless Fine Liner straight on the paper and it won't bleed through. So I have here, okay, actually this is Tomoe River paper. This is the 5mm graph. This pack here has 30 sheets. And look at how thin it is. Let's have a definite measurement because numbers don't lie. The thickness would be, oh my god, it's just, I don't know, 10, 5, 2 millimeters? It's 2 millimeters thick, you guys. It's 2 millimeters thick, and this is 30 sheets. I have 88 sheets of paper on there. So this is 30. Let's see what 88 sheets looks like. This is another 30. It's the same pack, by the way. And I have tried printing out my layout on one of the sheets, and it prints on the paper just fine. I mean, like the printer takes the paper through the feed without any problems, and the laser printing is very, very good. I just printed this on the wrong side because this is supposed to go over on that one because the larger margin, this is the inside margin, is supposed to go on the side with the hole. So I should have printed it on this side of the paper, not on this side of the paper. I should have printed it on there because the model number, or what do you call that, the model number of the paper should be on here. So I should have really printed it on this side. So anyway, that is 30 sheets, and here's another 30. So that's 60 sheets. Let's have another 30 sheets. So that brings it up to 90. Remember, we have 88 sheets on my planner. So this would be 90 sheets. And let's measure the thickness. Of course, if you add 20 millimeters to 20 and then another 20, that would be 60. No, not 20. I meant 2 millimeters. If you add 2, 2, and 2, that's 6. The width, the thickness of this stack of paper would be only just 6 millimeters compared with the 20 over here. This is 20. That's 2 months. That's 88 sheets of paper. That's more or less 20 millimeters in thickness. And this is 90 sheets of Tomoe River paper. And that's just 6 millimeters in thickness. That's why I'm shifting to the Tomoe River paper, because even if I add the tip-ins to this one, I don't think it's going to add too much bulk. My only problem that I think I'm going to have with the Tomoe River paper is because the paper is quite thin. If you throw water on it, it can take it. I mean, it's strong paper when it's, you know, it's the full paper and you haven't messed with the integrity of it. But if you start punching holes on it and you place the paper on the rings, and when paper is on the rings, it tends to move around a little bit. Sometimes it moves around a lot, and over time it can wear out the edges of the holes. See, this one has gotten worn out, especially the bottom one, and this is the second worst one. And this has been on here for about 2 weeks, every day for 2 weeks. I just wrote on it just once, and then kept it on here just to test how the holes would hold up to normal use, and this is what I found out. I suppose I can use hole reinforcers, but that would defeat the purpose of using thin paper. I'm not really sure, because April and May daily pages have to be on here. So especially the latter days of the May pages, they're going to be on here for 2 months. So they're going to be getting a lot of wear and tear, because they're the pages that will be on the rings the longest. I'm not really sure how I'm going to deal with that, but for now I just wanted to share this with you guys. I'm definitely going the Tomoe River way, so much better, and the paper quality is very, very good. It's a little bit expensive, but it's worth it. I think I always love paper because I love fountain pens, but I would definitely like to give it a try. So anyway, I just wanted to share this with you guys. I'll let you know. I will put up another video once I have a little bit more update about how the Tomoe River paper has printed, when I have my pages printed out, and how they're holding up with use. I will put up update videos for you guys. But for now, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!